In 1926, investors in Nicaragua formed Compañía Cervecería de Nicaragua. It remained independent until merging with a prime competitor, Industrial Cervecería, in 1996. The company started making Tona in 1977, which is now available in some US states. But should you give it a try? Find out now on Two Dudes Reviews.
What up, guys? Yeah, today we have Tona. I think one of those pronunciations is right, but who knows? I don't know. But yeah, Lager Especial out of Nicaragua. Never had it before. Just kind of stumbled on it at the store. I was like, oh, never had that before. So I think this is a twist. That is a twist off. All right. But let's just get into this. Always interested in trying out new Central South American beers, seeing what's up. Especially with the hotter months coming up. Tell you what, man, it's March 1st and it's only like 75 degrees out here. It's a crock. Of course, back home, original home in Michigan, it's like 5 degrees and snowing, so sometimes it's crazy when I talk to my people back home and it's like a 70-degree difference. It's like, this is kind of crazy. But all right, let's get into the smell. It's a lager, but it has almost more of a Pilsner smell to it. It's got kind of that corny, bubbly aroma to it. Little wheat, it's not terrible on that like wet bread smell you'll get with some lagers and pilsners. There's maybe just a very subtle hint of that, but not overpowering, and nothing that's like bleh or anything like that. Nothing really stands out about it. And as you can see, the head and everything else dies very quickly. But I don't know. I think it smells interesting enough to want to continue with it. Oh, I thought there's like a line going around the bottom of it, but that's just beer. I think it's beer hanging out. No, that's an actual. Oh, it's just a weird looking bubble in the bottom of that. I was like, what's going on? But it smells okay. I have no idea what I'm going to expect. I'm gonna give it a half, actually. It doesn't smell super like woo, but it doesn't smell terrible, so I'll give it a half on that. But all right, let's get into the taste. Actually, it's not too bad. It's very crisp at the beginning. There's not a lot of flavor on it, and to be perfectly honest, with some of these beers, you almost don't want there to be a whole lot of flavor, because obviously, when it's from Nicaragua, it's, Central America, you want something that's light, easy to drink, it's not going to weigh you down when it's hot out, and I feel like that's pretty much exactly what you're getting with this. There's not much flavor at the beginning, very, not necessarily watery, but and yeah, there's not much at the beginning. At the very end, you get kind of like a corn, lemon, zesty thing going on. Very light with that. And then you almost have like a clean palate on your mouth. I think this would be a great beer for if you're outside, it's like 90 degrees, you don't feel like doing anything, and you just want a beer, and you want to eat it with like chicken wings or fries or a burger or something. You just don't want something that's going to overpower the taste of your food and not weigh you down. I think this would actually not be too bad for that. So I could totally see myself hanging out around these palm trees and the mountain on the label. So yeah, it's not. I don't think it's that bad. I'm actually going to recommend it on the taste for the general setting that I kind of put up. That, yeah, for where you're at when you're drinking it. If it's hot and you just want something that's crisp, refreshing, not super fruity, not like the shandies where you have all the crazy sugar and juices going on. And yeah, you don't want any of that artificial added stuff, but you just want something light and crisp and to the point. I think this Tona, whatever, is pretty good for that, so I will recommend on that. Alright, next is value for price, and actually this wasn't that expensive. It was, of course, I bought it at just kind of one of those high-end grocery stores I just kind of popped into, because occasionally you'll find some of these kinds of beers. And so it's probably a little overpriced there, but it's still just a couple bucks. And, you know, maybe a hair more than what you're going to spend for like a Bohemia or one of a little more difficult to find Mexican beer in the States, but not crazy. So, and honestly, for a beer that's not, I don't think, heavily imported, I can't say I've ever seen it in the, like, ever before that I can remember. Imported by United States Beverage LLC, Stamford, Connecticut. But I don't know. Yeah, I think I will recommend it for value for price. I don't remember. I usually remember if I pay like a balls amount of money for a beer, but if I don't pay a lot, I just kind of like won't even remember it. But so yeah, value for price is fine. I will recommend it for that. All right, next is distinction. How distinct is it? And honestly, for a lot of these beers, there's not a whole lot of distinction. They don't stand out very much. It's a light, I mean, it's a lager. It tastes more like a light Pilsner than a lager. But there's not a lot about it that stands out, but it doesn't taste skunky, and it doesn't have that wet bread kind of thing going on. And for a cheaper lager, Pilsner, or whatever, sometimes that's all you can ask for, really. I mean, sometimes you can get some really great, fantastic Pilsners, and for me, a really good Pilsner is one of the hardest beers to make, because it's so simple. When you only have a handful of ingredients, it's very hard to make it stand out, be different, and not suck, basically. And not saying that this is a great one, but it's not bad. And that alone is kind of a miniature triumph. So while it doesn't stand out at all, so I'm not going to fully recommend it for that. It doesn't like go down that wet bread, skunky thing that a lot of other beers do. So I'm going to give it a half for distinction. All right, next category is drinkability, and yeah, absolutely not a problem drinking this at all. It's got that crisp, clean finish. If you can find a 6-pack of this, whatever, go at it. Hot day, not a problem going through the whole thing. So, and it is 4.6% alcohol by volume. So I think that's, what is it, Budweiser's like 4.2. So, you know, roughly the same category. So yeah, I will recommend it on drinkability. Last category is value for price. And, I mean, this would not be necessarily my go-to if I went to the store, it was hot out, and I felt like getting some beers. I'm probably not going to get this. There's other beers that realistically, I would go for, and you know, maybe spend a couple extra dollars and get a 6-pack of that stuff. But I wouldn't have a problem if I saw this on a menu, and maybe it's hot, and you got some. You're probably not gonna find this at a Mexican joint, but let's say you were having South American food and you saw this on the menu. I'd have no problem doing that. I want it to be crisp, refreshing. It wouldn't take over the palate of the food, so you can still focus on enjoying your food. And you're gonna have people around you, you know, being like, "Oh, what's that beer? I've never seen that before." And you're like, "Oh, yeah, it's from Nicaragua," you know. But so yeah, I'm not going to necessarily buy it again at the store, but I wouldn't turn it down if it was available at a restaurant never, so I'll give it a half for when I buy it again. But, alright, that is my review of Tona, the cerveza out of Nicaragua. I think it's pretty decent. I think it would be a good beer for when it's hot out and you're eating and you don't want anything to overpower your stomach or the food you're eating. This is a great beer for that. So that's my review of this. If you've had it before, let me know in the comments. You know, like and subscribe. That'd be fantastic. And get yourself ready for this coming December 26th. It's Boxing Day. We're gonna here at Two Dudes in a Six Pack. We're gonna try to turn that into just like the next big drinking holiday, like St. Patrick's Day and Cinco de Mayo. Because it has nothing to do with the United States, but we like our drinking days. And to be fair, after a day with the in-laws and the family, couldn't you kind of use a few beers on the day after Christmas? I know I could, but let's mark that on the calendar. We're gonna try to turn it up. So in the next couple of years, we'll try to get this thing really popping. But all right, that's my review. And so for myself and for Tanya, take it easy.